Can we not be licking our butts while I'm recording the intro next? Feeling the pressure as killer in Dead by Daylight? That killer anxiety creeping up every trial, making you second guess every move? Well, today I'm going to share a bunch of tips that you can use right now to shake off that anxiety and start having more fun. Stick around to the end where I've got some life-changing tips that help you level up both in the game and in your everyday life. What is Dead by Daylight? It's an intense asymmetrical multiplayer horror game where 4 survivors face off against 1 killer. The survivors must repair 5 generators and open an exit gate to escape. But the killer's job is no walk in the park. They need to hunt down each survivor and hit them twice, then hook them, 3 times per survivor. All while fighting distractions, bad luck, and the survivor's best attempts to evade capture. The killer wins by hooking and sacrificing all of the survivors. Pulling that off? No easy feat. What is killer anxiety? Killer anxiety is caused by the unknown. You never know what kind of survivors you'll face. A highly coordinated survivor with friends, known as a SWIF, a solo queue, or a toxic bully squad just out to make your life miserable. You don't know what perks they'll bring, how skilled they are, or how toxic the endgame shack might be. In Dead by Daylight, the survivors work together, but the killer is alone. Every decision, every mistake rests solely on the killer's shoulders. And in the current state of matchmaking, it's common to face survivors at much higher or much lower skill level, which make things even more unpredictable. Winning as killer is tough. 3 or 4 kills is often considered a win, 2 is a draw, and 1 or less is a loss. And in the mountain of second chance perks survivors have at the moment, it can likely to feel like the odds are stacked against you. While the survivor perks keep getting more and more forgiving, the skill ceiling for killers is only getting higher and higher. So it's no surprise that so many killers are feeling killer anxiety. But don't worry, here's some immediate actionable tips you can try right now to start to overcome it. Acceptance. Alright, bit of a tough love moment, but let's be real for a second. The bad news is you are responsible for your own fun. No matter what role you play, no one else is in charge of your enjoyment of the game. But there's some good news. You are responsible for your own fun. You have everything you need right now to take control of it. Now, for better or worse, the game is what it is. The devs' behaviour and their decisions impact the overall experience, but you can't place your personal enjoyment entirely in their hands. They're focused on making money. In a business terms, that means catering to the majority. Casual survivors. They need just 1/5 of their player base to be killers, so killers will never be the main priority. Their focus is on selling skins and making the most money for the least effort. And here's the last bit of top love. You can't control others, only yourself. Trying to change how other people play, it's a lost cause. The only gameplay you can control is your own. This is where these tips come in. They're all about maximising your own enjoyment, no one else's. Redefine success. In Dead by Daylight, the trial's ultimate goal is who lives and who dies. That's usually the measure of success. But the game isn't just about win or lose. You don't just earn blood points, the in-game reward system that you spend to unlock things. It's your XP, basically. You don't just earn blood points for kills or escapes. You earn them for all the little actions. Touch a gen, blood points. Hit a survivor, blood points. Every chase, every interaction, every action can rank up points. In fact, a killer can walk away with more blood points than the survivors, even if all 4 of them escape. We're often obsessed with how many kills, but real success comes from the smaller wins. Each hook, each mind game you win, spotting a survivor in the distance, all of these little victories matter. Celebrate each blood point earned. Give yourself a cheer every action. Even if you lose the ultimate goal, you will feel like you've won and had fun. Rock, paper, scissors. Let's face it, Dead by Daylight is just a really complicated game of rock, paper, scissors. Every perk has a counter, and the random number generator, or RNG, picks the maps you play on, and how it spawns. Sometimes it works in your favour, sometimes not. Some maps are just better for certain killers, and some are better for survivors. But for every build, there is a counter. It isn't a game designed to be winnable every time. With the 1v4 setup, it's meant to be around a 60-40 kill to survivor win rate, according to the devs themselves. No one should expect to win every match. No one is entitled to win every match. Yes, certain killers have more advantages in more situations, especially the high mobility ones, and there are some survivor builds that gives them a better shot at surviving. So the balance? Not perfect, but the game tries to rebalance at every turn. For example, when the survivor is the last one standing, a hatch appears to allow them to escape, even if not all the generators are completed. And if the killer reaches the hatch first and closes it, the exit gates open, like the generators are done. 2 exits, extra chances for that survivor. The key takeaway here is never expect to win. Dead by Daylight is designed to give everyone a fair shot, and that means losing is inevitable. And you know what? That's okay. Embrace it. The toxic endgame chat. Let's talk endgame chat, also known as the EGC, because yeah, we love our acronyms around here. We also really like putting tech on the end of things, but you know, honestly, it can get intense. Some players take it to a whole new level with the worst comments imaginable, and it's bad. Some people have even quit the game because of the abuse they've received. And it is abuse. It's not uncommon to hear racist, homophobic, transphobic remarks, or even being told that the world would be better off without you. Over a video game! But here's the thing. We can't control others. We can only control how we respond to their behaviour. So first of all, don't be that person. But more importantly, be glad that you're not that person. Honestly, I can't imagine the kind of life someone must lead to think that saying those kinds of things is okay. What they say is a reflection on them, not you. It doesn't matter how you played. Your choices reflect you, not their words. Don't internalise it. Don't take it personally. So how do you handle this toxicity? Get curious. To start with, maybe ask them if they're alright, because happy people just don't talk like that. Or use the grey rock method. Show no emotion. Don't reply, don't give it attention, type GG, standing for good game, close the chat, move on. Don't let them live rent-free in your head. If you want to level up, turn their negativity into a compliment. When they try to tear you down, twist it. Nothing frustrates a toxic player more than you turning their insults into something positive. You can always just turn off the chat, but then you're missing the rare positive moments that can and do happen. And don't forget, report any hostile or abusive comments, especially bigotry and threats. And if someone stalks you to another platform, block them, report them, don't engage. Complimenting them. This might sound strange, but trust me, it's for you. It's about you. When the enemy makes a good play, say GG out loud. Compliment them genuinely and make it real. If they win a chase, say, wow, that was a great move. If they outsmart you in a mind game, acknowledge it with nice choice. They've got a meta build, give them credit for it. It's a good choice for them. Don't downplay it with, oh, that was lucky, but be sincere. If they unlock a teammate, they're a great team player. If they confuse you with a stunt, they made an amazing play. Recognise the skill in what they do and don't hesitate to throw in a compliment in the in-game chat. You'd be surprised how turning a toxic chat into a positive one can shift the whole vibe. It's much harder for people to stay mad when all you've got is kindness to share. Compliment their teamwork, their chase, their skill, whatever it is they did well. It shifts your mindset and it lightens your mood. When you're outmatched and outplayed, you'll start to feel good about it because they've earned it. Suddenly, losing doesn't feel personal, no matter what happens, and you're having fun. Change your tactic. When things aren't going as planned, be ready to switch it up. The beauty of Dead by Daylight is that every match is unique. New maps, different RNG, new survivors, new perks, it's a fresh challenge every time. Sure, there's common patterns, but the overall experience is always different. Different maps require different strategies. Sometimes the gens spawn to create a perfect 3-gen situation, where you can focus on defending a small area and force survivors into a corner. Other times, slugging is your best bet, while in other cases, hooking might be a less risky option. Mix up your mind games. Try different approaches. The more flexible you are, the more strategies you have in your back pocket, the better you'll be at handling tough matches. You'll find it easier to manage difficult situations and, with time, have more chances to succeed. Bully squads. On the note of changing your tactics, let's talk bully squads. These are groups of 2 or more survivors whose main goal is to mess with the killer instead of completing the generators. They are not to be confused with a highly coordinated Survive with Friends group, which You can normally tell them apart by how quickly gens are being done, or not. Bully squads come in different flavours, the most common being flashlight or sabo squads. Flashlight squads save each other with a classic flashlight save, while the sabo squad sabotage hooks to stop you from being able to hook their friends. They also love stacking second chance perks like Unbreakable to stop you from being able to slug them. Then there's meme squads, who just bring chaos, fun perks, and just want to mess about. Bully squads technically violate the game's terms and conditions and are reportable for unsportsmanlike behaviour. But here's the kicker. If you disconnect from these teams, you get punished with a timeout. So the game forces you to play against them. So be it. Bet. Now, if sucking isn't working, or you're just fed up, sometimes the best move is to disengage. Not disconnect, just disengage. As killer, if you don't play, the game gets really dull. Survivors can be replaced by bots, but if you're not playing your part, suddenly the game just becomes a gen skill check simulator. Isn't that gonna be thrilling for them? So, take a break, explore the map, take some virtual photos. Just ignore the survivors, patrol the gens, and focus on the ones that are doing the objective rather than the ones in your face. Punish them by taking away your attention. It's surprising how effective it is when you stop giving them the one thing they want, your reaction. This is where the grey rock method comes in again. Stop reacting, stop rewarding the bad behaviour. Change your goal. Instead of focusing on getting them out, focus on making their lives miserable, just like they're trying to do to you. Suddenly, you have your power back. Of course, you might want to engage sometimes because watching a baby bully squad bleed out at your feet is oddly satisfying. But remember, flexibility is key. You can stop at any time and just meander off. Lightborn and Laugh. Lightborn is a hillbilly perk that grants complete immunity from being blinded by flashlights, firecrackers, flashbangs, and blast mines, all while revealing the aura of the survivor trying to blind you for up to 10 seconds. It can completely negate flashlights and any associated survivor perks they've brought with them, all with a single perk. And this is why it gets a lot of hate in the survivor community, which then unfortunately spills on into judgment in the killer community as well. But here's the thing, I get a ton of value from Lightborn. It's kind of a core part of some of my builds. So, sure, flashlights can be easily countered, and they can be more annoying than anything, but players like me with sensory overload conditions or those with migraines, Lightborn isn't just a nice perk, sometimes it's a medical requirement. But let's be real. No one should have to justify their perk choice. If you like Lightborn, rock it. It's your build, not anyone else's. For me, Lightborn isn't just about flashlights. With firecrackers, flashbangs and blast mines, I get plenty of value out of it, even when there's no torches in the lobby. The aura reading is a huge bonus. Nothing makes me feel more justified than seeing a blast mine trigger and instantly knowing the survivor's location for 10 seconds. And if you can't see them, check the nearby lockers. I also love hiding my Lightborn. If you've ever countered flashlights without Lightborn, you know the techniques. Things like face a wall when you're picking up a survivor so you can't get flashlighted. Look down when running at them when they're blinding you in the face. The pallet ones you can't really do much about, just eat those, listen out, try and have a listen where they are and where they've moved to. But yeah, you can't do much about those. But keep doing that when you have Lightborn on. You will get so many more free hits. But it's also good practice for when you don't have it on. But it's hilarious watching them flashlight you over and over and over again, and you can just happen to hit them most times. I wonder how that happened. It is absolutely delightful when a flashlight bully squad is clicking away and you've just completely stripped away their main power with one simple perk. But when I see a flashlight in the lobby, oh, I'm gonna get out my Lightborn and laugh. Choose mercy. Personally, I love it when I'm absolutely dominating in a game, and then I choose to let them go. I toy with them. Sometimes I let them escape. Sometimes I just let one person get hatched. You know what? They know it. Survivors can tell when you're letting them live, and honestly, often they're pretty grateful for it. I've done this from day one with my very first baby killer. I didn't try to win, I didn't care about getting kills. My goal was simple: have fun, not take it too seriously, and just make them scramble in panic. Which, let me tell you, was a blast. Sometimes the best decision you can make is to let them live. Go into a match without the intention of winning. By removing the pressure to perform, I found the game became so much more enjoyable, because at the end of the day, what matters in a game is to have fun. Challenge yourself. This is an extension of the Redefining Success tip, but more specific. It's about setting personal goals in the game and then being kind to yourself as you challenge yourself. Focus on getting better, not just in the number of blood points or who escapes, or how many downs you get. Personal growth is much harder to measure, and it will include plenty of moments where you don't hit your goal or you fall short of the game's traditional methods of success. Try things like perkless trials, aiming for in-game achievements, completing a quest, or just having fun with a meme build. Always without pressure to perform in a certain way. Think back to when you started the game. You didn't expect to do well, right? Find that feeling again. Be curious, learn, reduce the expectations that you place on yourself. Give yourself room to grow without the need for constant validation from blood points or wins. Reduce decision making. Tired? Oh god, yeah, me too. Sometimes loading into a trial feels like too much, especially as killer. There's so much to plan, decide, so many criteria to meet. When I load in, think about the mental load of your choices. Some killers are easier than others to play. Some are more forgiving of mistakes, while others are much harder and just feel like a huge drain to play. It's not just about the killer that you choose. Also consider which perks you bring. Take Scourge Hook Pain Resonance. To get value, you need to down the survivor, pick them up, carry them to a specific hook, and successfully hook them. This makes the generator with the most progress explode, causes it to lose progress, and reveals any survivor working on its location. But that's a lot of steps. That's a lot of mental load, a lot of decisions, a lot of risk. Now compare that to Hex Ruin. This perk regresses any generator not being worked on by a survivor, automatically. No effort required. You don't even have to think about kicking the gens now. The main risk, the survivors cleanse your token and the perk is gone. So it often needs a hex build to protect it, but hey, so much simpler, right? These perks have very different mental loads. So choosing your perks based on how much mental energy you have. I personally favour perks that require little to no effort, so I can focus on the killer's unique playstyle and the skill set that the killer brings. But on days when you want more of a challenge, those high mental load perks offer better benefits. And they can be fun too. They provide built-in goals like hooking a specific survivor or avoiding the obsession or positioning yourself around the Scourge hooks. These perks naturally give you objectives to focus on. Emotional support bucket. I own an emotional support bucket. Like literally. I know it sounds silly, but it genuinely helps me. It started out as a bit of a joke, but seriously, having something nearby that reminds you it's just a game can be a game changer. Something that just grounds you and just says, this too shall pass. Anything can be a bucket. My previous one was a watering can. So whatever you have nearby that can serve as a reminder to stay calm and reset your mindset. When I need it, I place it on my desk, and it helps me through the anxiety or other tough emotions. In all games. If you want the fancy neurolinguistic programming or NLP term for this, it's called anchoring. Now for the plug. I'm not going to plug my own Discord here, although, you're welcome to join my small but growing community. But I want to point you to someone else's. Refined. Refined is a top tier Vecna main with hours of experience and an insane win streak of 269. But more importantly, he's a voice for the killers and a support beacon for anyone who needs it. His Discord is a great place to find understanding and solidarity. I'm there, but it's full of a whole bunch of supportive, amazing and fantastic people who just get it. Also, Refined is there too, I guess. Life lessons. These are some of the really key tips that ascend the game and are amazingly powerful mindsets day to day that can absolutely seriously be life-changing. Be generous with your understanding. In life, how you choose to react to someone or something is one of the most powerful choices you can make. When you stop reacting and start controlling your behavior, you realize just how empowered you are to shape the world around you, your emotions, and the outcomes that you create. Your impact matters. Remember, behind every behavior is a positive intention that made sense to the person at the time based on the knowledge and experience that they had in that moment. It may be a selfish intention, but we're all human. Now consider this. The meaning of any communication is the response it elicits. What you mean isn't what they understood, and vice versa. But you have the power to interpret others' actions generously, or even twist them to your benefit. In everyday life, this is incredibly powerful. People's words and actions are almost always a reflection of them, not you. If someone says something nasty, instead of internalizing it, consider that they might be hurting. That negativity is likely their way to feel powerful, to matter, even for a moment. They want a reaction, a way to feel big and in control. That's their selfish positive intention behind their behaviour. In Dead by Daylight, toxic endgame chat and bad manners are designed to make you react. But you get to choose how you interpret those actions. Take crouching, for example. In Dead by Daylight, a series of crouches can mean different things. It can be teabagging, which is a form of disrespect. It's basically flipping you off. But it can also be a thank you. It's how survivors thank each other after an unhook or a heal. It's up to you to decide how you interpret that behaviour. If you choose to see it as a thank you in-game, the game becomes way more pleasant. Suddenly survivors everywhere are thanking you for the chase, for the attention, for simply noticing them. Instead of getting angry and flustered, you'll start enjoying the game and returning to the positivity. This does take practice, but once you let go of the idea that teabagging is bad, you'll find the game a lot more enjoyable. Try it out. Take away the power of negativity and replace it with positive intent. There is no such thing as failure. A powerful life lesson is that there is no such thing as failure, only opportunities to learn. In fact, when you're committed to self-improvement, success can become almost a hindrance because you learn so much more from not reaching your goal than you do from achieving it. The best opportunities come from situations where you're challenged enough to fail, but win enough to learn. But this requires self-reflection. What could you do differently next time? When things don't go to plan, ask yourself, was it your timing? Did your perks not work as expected? Did you make less than ideal choices? Maybe it was just bad luck. Regardless, think about how you could adjust. What could you do differently next time that would give you an edge? Or keep your options open? In each game, each win and loss, every small battle, or even the bigger war, is a chance to reflect. The more you embrace that, the faster you'll improve, rather than getting frustrated and missing out on those learning moments. Applying this mindset to everyday life, suddenly the world is your oyster. As long as you're alive, there is no failure that you can't recover from. Sure, it may require a change in direction, or a different path than the one you expected. There's truly no such thing as failure, only consequences and learning opportunities. Don't take it personally. As I mentioned earlier, but it's worth repeating, don't take it personally. Don't take anything personally. The RNG isn't out to get you. The other players don't know you. Every behaviour others display is about them, not you. There are usually more explanations for someone's behaviour than just, they don't like me. You are wonderfully significant and you absolutely matter. Your actions and reactions have a huge influence on those around you. But here's the truth. Despite your significance, you occupy surprisingly little mental space in other people's minds. Most people only see the world from their own perspective. They barely think about you, and when they do, it's usually about how your actions have impacted them. They judge others, but make excuses for themselves. Especially in a faceless video game, or just online in general, where you're just an avatar on the other side of the screen. They don't know you. Any hurtful behaviour they direct at you isn't about you. It It's not personal because it cannot be personal. They don't know you. Likewise, any behaviour you display is a reflection on you, not the world around you, and certainly not the people in it. Laugh at yourself. Taking yourself too seriously only leads to hurt feelings, embarrassment, and a lot of unnecessary negativity. When you make a mistake, laugh at yourself. Make it a joke. Missed a swing, especially multiple times, getting frustrated will only fluster you and make you play worse. Instead, laugh at how badly you just missed that attack, especially if it happened right in front of someone. Picture how funny that must have looked to them. See yourself from others' perspective and roll with it. Life is full of mistakes, accidents, learning opportunities, formerly known as failures. No matter what, this too shall pass. You might as well enjoy it. Give yourself grace. Let yourself get things wrong. Break stuff without meaning to. Allow yourself to exist without the pressure of perfection. To get good, you must first suck. Get good. Skill issues happen, especially for newbies, but this applies to everything in life. No one's a top musician the first time they pick up an instrument. No one draws a masterpiece without drawing really badly first. No one becomes skilled at anything without sucking at it first. To get good at something, you have to accept you'll probably be bad at it at first. And maybe for a long time. This is something we need to change in our culture. Too often we put others down for being bad, but they're trying, they're learning. It's okay to suck at stuff. Anyone who belittles you for trying but not being good at something, that's on them and their poor attitude. When someone mocks you for being bad, tell them it's a shame that they're not brave enough to suck at something, but you are. And you're going to keep working at it to get better. When you mock someone else for struggling, that's a shame on you, not them. In Dead by Daylight, we all sucked at our first few games. We went through that pain, that learning curve. A little empathy for yourself and for others goes a long way, no matter what you're trying to learn. Give yourself time, keep practicing, and your skill will come. You cannot control others, only yourself. Boundaries are an essential life skill. Recognizing what's yours and what's others, then minding your own business. It's a huge life lesson. Don't like something? It's okay for others to like it. Learning not to tell others what to do and not accepting others to tell you what to do leads to a calmer, more fulfilling life. Remember, you can't tell others how to behave. You shouldn't tell survivors not to use bad manners, or that more killers should not tunnel. We're each responsible for our own behaviour, for better or worse. So when someone does something you don't like, how you respond is entirely up to you. It should be within your boundaries and control. You can respond in kind or simply ignore it. Trying to tell others you should or you shouldn't will only lead to disappointment and frustration, leaving you feeling like you lack control. You can educate others, you can share your perspective, but remember it's their choice to change. It's also crucial to recognise what's within your control. Set boundaries to protect that and enforce them politely but firmly when needed. For example, if someone tells you not to tunnel, camp, or use Lightborn, just inform them that they're welcome to play as they like, but you will play as you see fit. Clear boundaries. You do you, I do me. If they don't like it, that's their problem, not yours. Move on. This also applies to survivors. Don't tell them what perks they can or cannot use, or how they should play. The power that enforces your boundaries lies in simply not engaging with behaviour you don't like. Take yourself elsewhere or accept it and move on. Sure, you can grumble. At the end of the day, people will be people. Learning what you can and cannot change is an important life skill. If someone's behaviour goes against the terms and conditions or the law, then yes, absolutely report it and let someone else deal with that nonsense. Everything I've shared here are just ideas. It's up to you which ones you choose to implement. I don't control you, but I hope you found something valuable in these ideas. You are responsible for your own experience. Just to reiterate one last time, you are responsible for your own fun. It is up to you. Your attitude, your behaviour is your choice. And that's amazing, because you've got this. Now, get back into the fog and maybe try out some of these tips. See if they work to bring back the fun and help you enjoy Dead by Daylight even more. I will be providing some gameplay videos to demonstrate these tips, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see that. There'll be plenty of fun moments of me giggling at myself, saying you're welcome to obviously bad-mannered teabagging, and congratulating myself and others throughout the game in a full emotional outpouring. It's gonna be epic! But this is just a small selection of ideas. I'd love to hear how you've challenged your own anxiety, or if there's a specific topic you want me to deep dive into or demonstrate. Comment away, I want to hear from you. And remember, it's totally okay to not be okay. Even if you try all of these tips, it's normal to feel anxious. You've got this, we've got you, we're all in this together. Until the next video, bye!